My name's Jennifer Shannon. I'm the Clinical Director of the Santa Rosa Center for Cognitive-Behavioral Therapy. When people come to me, they often want to know, what is cognitive-behavioral therapy? And I like to best explain it with what I call the dog story. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Justin who loved to ride his bike. He'd come home after school, grab a snack, and take his bike out in the neighborhood. Well, one day he was riding his bike, and a neighbor had left their gate unlatched, and their mixed shepherd dog came charging out of the gate, chasing Justin down the street, knocking him off his bike. The neighbor heard the commotion, came out, grabbed the dog, and asked if Justin was okay. The dog hadn't bit him, but it had really shaken him up. The next day, Justin was walking to his bus stop, as he did every day. He was about halfway between his house and the bus stop when around the corner came a woman who had a Labrador Retriever on a leash. Justin stopped in his tracks. If you had to guess what he was feeling, what might you guess? He was probably feeling scared and panicky. What was he thinking? Well, he wasn't thinking that's a cute dog. He was probably thinking something more like, that dog might get off the leash and attack me. What did he do? He ran back into his house. I've asked 3 questions. What was he thinking? What was he feeling? And what did he do? What we think influences how we feel, and how we feel influences what we do. Cognitive behavioral therapy is based on the connections between thoughts, feelings, and actions. Once Justin was inside the house, his body calmed down and he didn't feel as scared and panicky. By avoiding the dog, Justin managed his anxiety. He felt safe. He didn't get bit, and in his mind it was because he ran away. Justin's avoidance behavior reinforces his anxious prediction that the dog would bite him if it had a chance, and this is the beginnings of a phobia. His belief that he must avoid dogs to stay safe reinforces the panic he feels each time he sees a dog, which makes him want to run away. It's a vicious cycle. Over the next few months, Justin saw about 12 dogs, and he reacted the same each time. He no longer would ride his bike in the neighborhood, he wouldn't walk to his bus stop, so his parents had to drive him to school, and he wouldn't go over to friends' houses if they had dogs. So his world was becoming smaller and smaller. If Justin wanted to overcome his fear of dogs, he would need to do 2 things. He would need to change how he's thinking, and he would need to change what he's doing. Cognitive behavioral therapy is designed to help clients do just that. The cognitive part stands for helping Justin to think more realistically about the actual danger of coming into contact with a dog. Fears and phobias are fueled by overestimations of threat. The behavioral part is to help Justin stop avoiding dogs and begin to face his fears. But it's not done all at once. Instead, it's done in small, manageable steps, sort of like climbing a ladder. Justin's therapy began with exposure to a small dog, which caused him big anxiety. But he learned that he was safe even in the presence of a dog, and this changed his thinking just a little bit. As his cognitive behavioral therapist introduced him to more dogs, he grew less and less anxious, and his thinking became more and more realistic. So how does this story end? Well, it's a happy one. Justin is again able to ride his bike in the neighborhood, he can walk to the bus stop, and he can go over to friends' houses even if they have dogs. Cognitive behavioral therapy is helpful with all sorts of fears and phobias, including social anxiety, generalized anxiety, panic, agoraphobia, obsessive-compulsive disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, as well as things like depression and insomnia. If you'd like to learn more about cognitive behavioral therapy, please visit our website at srcbt.org.